Alright, what is up YouTube? Welcome back to another anime live action news update video for you guys. Today we're actually going to be talking about the live action Akira film that is coming from Hollywood and about how Jordan Peele apparently is glad that he is no longer a part of this project. Because as you know, if you have stayed up to date with my videos covering this film, Taika Waititi has been in charge of directing this film for quite some time now, but he's been busy with a lot of other projects, so we haven't gotten that much news regarding this film. But this article just came up, and even though it's Jordan Peele talking about his past involvement in it, I still thought it was pretty interesting. So yeah, without further ado, let's get into it. Jordan Peele says he's glad he didn't direct a live action Akira remake. Peele's version of a Neo Tokyo is one of Hollywood's greatest what ifs. Jordan Peele, one of Hollywood's favorite modern horror directors, has no regrets about passing up the opportunity to make a live action remake of Katsuhiro Otomo's beloved anime Akira. Peele was attached to the adaptation after the success of his 2017 directorial debut hit Get Out, which made the director a hot up-and-coming name in Hollywood. Warner Brothers then approached Peele about the Akira remake, and he reportedly seriously considered the project. However, Peele ultimately declined the offer and instead went on to make Us. Now Peele has opened up about his decision to decline the offer. Quote, "It's a project I'm so passionate about," Peele said on a recent episode of the Happy, Sad, Confused podcast. "I'm glad I didn't do it because I feel like staying away from that, trying to interpret that IP, just set me on a path to create something new," end quote. Even though Peele himself doesn't want to helm the film, he still wants to experience the live action adaptation on the big screen. Quote, "I want to see Neo Tokyo," Peele said. "I want to see an all Japanese cast. I want to feel immersed in the world, the way of the films and the manga," end quote. The last we have heard of the Akira live action remake was that Taika Waititi, the director behind Thor Ragnarok and Thor Love and Thunder, was co-writing the script and expected to direct. However, it's been a while since any new information has been released about that project, so the film may be stuck in limbo for the time being. And yeah, the rest of the article just talks about Akira itself, the anime, the film, and how it was based on the manga series, the premise, yada yada yada. So yeah, I think this is pretty interesting to hear about Jordan Peele being actually a big fan of Akira and saying he's very passionate about the anime and the manga, and I think that that's really interesting actually of him to say. And I like how he worded it. He said, "I'm glad I didn't do it because I feel like staying away from that, trying to interpret that IP just set me on a path to create something new." And I can honestly understand that, because I feel like once you get so immersed in a world that you really do love, which I'm sure a lot of us can relate to being fans of anime, you can find yourself wanting something new, right? I think a lot of people gravitate towards a lot of shonen, and you know, the world building that a lot of those shonen long-running anime have to offer. And I think once you fall in love with the world of these long-running shonen, you often find yourself wanting something new, right? Because there's so many things that can happen in this world. Same thing with me and Death Note, right? Like, I've talked about it a lot in other videos, but you know, I get excited for a Death Note live action because I want to see something new happen in this world of Death Note, because Death Note is a pretty short anime, all things considered. And I've always thought, well, what if, you know, something happened after the inevitable end of the anime and the original story of Death Note? What if there was more that took place in the world of Death Note? You know, I think that would be cool. But that's because I'm such a huge fan. I'm so passionate about Death Note. Maybe that's not always the right perspective to have when adapting an anime into live action, because maybe that's not what everyone wants to see. So I can totally get behind how Jordan Peele feels, and I very much so respect him for recognizing this within himself and being able to take a step back from that and say, okay, maybe I'm not the one. But at the same time, he still is very passionate about it, and he still does want to see this film eventually get made into live action. So who knows, maybe he actually will give a little bit of advice if Taika Waititi hits him up for some help or something, you know, because he definitely seems willing to help. And even though he has stepped away, he is very passionate and he does want to see it happen and succeed, you can tell. So who knows? But yeah, what did you guys think about this, and what do you guys think about if Jordan Peele actually did make the live action Akira film from Hollywood? Do you think it would be better? Do you think he's a better fit as opposed to Taika Waititi? And what do you think about anything else I had to say in this video? Let me know in the comments below. Leave a like on the video, subscribe if you haven't already, that helps me out a ton. And as always, thank you guys so much for watching. I really appreciate it, and I'll see y'all in the next video.